What's up, you guys? It's Rob here. Hope you all had a wonderful weekend. Clearly, the stock market had a wonderful weekend because it was out partying all weekend, and it had to call out sick today because it was hung over AF. If you took a look at the heat map around 9:30, 10 o'clock today, even really towards the end of the day, it was pretty gosh darn red in my personal opinion. You might have had a few specks of green in there, and AMC was one of these red stocks, down 10% on the day. It actually transitioned over to green and closed slightly red. Fun fact of the day, AMC actually outperformed the S&P 500 and NASDAQ today, guys. And they say this stock is overvalued. Well, what do we know, apparently? But we'll talk about the charts. We'll go over the short interest through Ortex. We'll go through Stock Tracker as well, guys. But if you can, do me a huge favor, drop a like down on this video, hit that subscribe button, make sure you ring that bell for the YouTube algorithm. I am on my path to 5,000 subscribers, so each sub, each like, I greatly appreciate it, guys. And comment your thoughts down below on AMC for the day. But let's dive on in and take a look at the chart. So 31.15 is our low on the day. We did hit 31.10 here. If we pull up the 1 month, 1 hour chart back here on the 15th, which was Thursday of last week. And what's really nice to see here is hopefully AMC is finding a bottom here around $31. And we're going to bounce here like we did before. So we have this sell-off here, followed by, let's put my Weeble here in drawing mode so I can just keep my lines going. Followed by a nice bounce here, followed by another essentially sell-off. And then hopefully the next leg of this is going to be another bounce to the upside. Now, what this is forming in technical analysis is what's called a W formation, whereas trades likes to call it the George W. And that's really what I'm going to be looking for in the next day or two here for AMC, is to hopefully have a nice bounce here off of $31, and we can continue that uptrend for hopefully more than a day. That's just my personal opinion, and that's really what I'm looking for. The other thing that I really want to highlight here is if you take a look at the RSI and the MACD, I know I said a while back in the videos, really take these two indicators with a grain of salt, but these two indicators right now show how uncomfortable the stock is from essentially the harsh sell-off that we have seen here. Why am I still in drawing mode here? Thanks, Weeble. But from that harsh sell-off here that we had from $55 all the way down here down to 31, the stock has not had any time to consolidate at all, and it shows the volatility here. And what I'm really hoping is now the fact that we have a double bottom here. They say there's no such thing as a triple bottom, but who knows? I guess we'll have to find out here in the future. But I'm really looking for us to have a nice bounce here. The thing that I want to focus on the most here is the year-to-date time frame. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up a Fibonacci retracement, which is from our low of $1.91 to our high of $72.62. And what this is going to do is it's going to tell us the amount the stock has pulled back. And what this often shows is how stocks tend to handle 72.62. 75 is close enough. How stocks really pull back, and when you have a pullback, you really want to look for a 50% retracement as a max, but we know the history with AMC being 50% to 61.8%. Well, year-to-date time frame here is what I have up. Our 50% retracement is 37.46, or 61.8 retracement is 61.8%. And AMC, like I said, has that history of retracing back to 61.8% or between 50%. And that's exactly where it is here. And I'm really hoping that we can find a bounce here, because the 618 retracement is often a very hit retracement, and then we see bounces here. So that is something that I'm going to be looking for here in the near future, is that bounce. Also, to highlight the RSI and the MACD here, incredibly overextended as our run up, and now we have this bearish essentially divergence here of the signal coming over the MACD, and then we're going back below the equilibrium. The thing that I really want to highlight here, guys, is these are just indicators. They are just looking at the candlesticks, and they don't look at the short interest. They don't look at the options data. So If you ask me right now, do I believe AMC can absolutely still squeeze? Yes, I still believe it can. Keep in mind, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. And you guys are ultimately in charge of your spot. You're in charge of your investing, and I am not in charge of it for you. Please, 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 please do not make this video like I'm going to go buy 50 shares now kind of thing. Please do your own due diligence on the stock because it helps you have the conviction when we have those hard times when we're selling off here. Because I've done all my research on AMC, I'm holding the stock and I'm perfectly fine with it, and I'm taking a look at this and going, well, it's a great dip buying opportunity because I know the stock is on a discount in my personal opinion. But if we come over here and take a look here at the short interest change being down 2.13%, and the thing I want to highlight, our shares on loan, 95.92 million. Our estimated current short interest is still sitting at 74.36 million shares. If you take our estimated short interest to free float, combined with our free float on loan, we're still looking at a 30% short position within AMC, guys. The shorts are not giving up. If anything, what they're doing right now is they're shorting the stock down. They're waiting for us to get emotional in the stock market and be like, oh no, it's falling again because we've gone from 72 to 31. A lot of people are going to get very emotional because they're like, well, how much more can it fall kind of thing. And a lot of new investors, unfortunately, have emotion and they go, oh crap, my money's disappearing. I might as well sell. And when they get that emotional reaction, it actually helps out the shorts a lot, guys. And that's where we cannot be. We cannot have emotion when we're investing in the stock market. That's why I say time and time again, go out, do the research, do the DD, because it will give you the conviction that I have within the stock. The higher conviction you have, the more that you know, the better. I don't care if you if you don't watch my channel, if you go watch someone else's channel, please go do it because it will ultimately give you the most conviction within the stock. And if I'm not explaining something, let me know down in the comment section because I will gladly help anyone out. But the short interest, shorts are not giving up. The shorts haven't covered. That's the question I ask myself every single day. Are we still squeezing? Have the shorts covered? Shorts haven't covered? Yes, we still absolutely can squeeze. Now, the thing I want to talk about here is the options chain. We have 7,524 calls in the money. That seems really low. Well, this week is a very low options week because you see that we have 176,000 calls out of the money. We have 78,433 puts out of the money, currently 486,700. I apparently can't talk today. I apologize about this. 48,754 puts are in the money. 7,524 calls are in the money. And the huge thing I want to highlight here is if we take a look at the options chain within Webull, where are all of these puts here? Well, you can see at $30, 13,000 puts are currently out of the money. If I had to guess where the shorts want the stock to go, I'm immediately looking at $30. I use the options chain to give me an idea of where the stock might be headed based off of the interest and know where my low might be for the week and where my high could possibly be for the week. Because open interest indicates people who are still holding open contracts. Also, the volume does help out a lot here. You can see at $30, 47,546 contracts were traded at this strike alone, which indicates there's a high amount of short interest here at $30. So is it possible that we could drop to $30 sometime this week? It is definitely entirely possible too. It is also possible that we could rip to 145 too. Keep in mind, like I said, not financial advice or anything like that, because we have essentially longs being the apes and shorts being whoever you want them to be, fighting out with this stock. And we can see that the shorts have lost a lot of money, and right now the apes, in my personal opinion, are still definitely winning this war. Also, if anyone says that this is a dead cat or anything like that, get the heck out of here. Get out of my channel. Feel free to unsub and all that kind of stuff because I don't want to even hear it. All the call option volume here on AMC indicates that it's not dead. $35, $23,000, $36, $10,000, $37, $9, $38, $7, $40, $26. There is a ton of bullish interest within the stock. Yes, we have had a sell-off, guys. But guess what? There is still a crap ton of bullish interest for this week. And guess what? It continues into next week. There was 8,852 contracts traded at the $145 strike for August 20th. No one is stacking interest on the stock for a whole entire week. They are looking multiple weeks out ahead. All the short interest definitely does appear to be on this week only, because if we do a comparison here, so 0.71 to a comparable put here of 0.71, 2,000 versus 8,000, open interest of 36, gosh, I can't read numbers apparently today, 38,236. And then this one has an open interest of 7,426. So definitely still very bullish on our options chain. The chart may not look bullish, but I can tell you right now, if you look at the options chain, it is definitely bullish. And if we hop back here, the Stocko tracker, and really take a look at our short shares, 200,000 short shares are available at a 1% borrow fee. You can see there was 0 shares available at some point today. Now, the last thing that I want to leave you guys with, and I'm going to transition back here to my talking head, is AMC has 2 long leases announced, 2 long leases signed. They announced it today on 2 theaters, the 2nd and 5th highest grossing movie theaters in LA. Now, if many of you guys don't know, LA and New York are essentially prime hubs for those red carpet movies and all that kind of fancy stuff I don't really understand. But the fact that they're grabbing more movie theaters and extending out their reach and having more movie theaters shows shareholder value. Is this something that's going to help us with the squeeze? Maybe, kind of thing, but it's still continuing to show that AMC is taking that cash that they have on hand that they announced at their earnings, and they're using it for good intentions instead of diluting the shareholder stock like a lot of us are afraid of, because there's no dilution for 2021. The nearest dilution that we can hear about is 2022. So if anyone says the word dilution in AMC in 2021, that it's going to happen, they're lying to you. The nearest time that we can hear about dilution is in 2022, guys. Also, I really want to talk about the Citadel Connect or whatever it is and how our markets really work. And I'm trying to understand this to the best of my ability, but I linked a Dan Lauer interview down below in the description of this video. Dan Lauer highlighted the fact that a lot of the orders that are sent to quote unquote the exchange never make it to the exchange because they're filled by these non-ATS or dark pools or whatever you want to call it kind of thing, or they're filled by Citadel or they're filled by Virtue or whatever it is, because these market makers essentially are getting paid by filling these transactions. That's how they really get paid. Correct me if I'm wrong about this. And then if none of them really want the transaction, what they'll do is they'll actually send it to the exchange and get filled. And that's the huge thing I really want to highlight, is a lot of our orders aren't making it to the exchange, and that's not really helping with price discovery of AMC. We have to make through so many other loopholes before we actually get to the exchange. And that's one of the things that we're in this fight for, guys, is to have fair price discovery of the stock. Because if we're not making it to the exchange, we're not actually affecting stock price on the New York Stock Exchange. We're essentially having Citadel or Virtue or whoever you want to call it fill the order, and then after hours go, oh, well, these people bought all this price at this at AMC at this price, or at GameStop at this price, kind of thing. We're not getting to that lit exchange, and that's one of the things that we need to get in the fight for. And we need to essentially say, hey guys, we need to go directly to the exchange instead of through all these other people, because who knows, they may have the spread wider, or maybe it might be narrow, but it doesn't provide good price discovery for stocks, guys. But really, that's what I'm gonna leave you guys with. And if you need any form of consideration of how we're doing with AMC, take a look at the chart, guys. We're doing perfectly fine in my personal opinion. We found hopefully a nice bottom here at $31, and I can't wait to see what we have in store for the stock market tomorrow. Sorry if the video is a little bit awkward. Haven't shot one for a couple of days, but I'll see you guys next one. Peace.